welcome to Talk of the Town. Today I've got Robert with me, and Robert, good as always to have you on the show.
Yeah, great to be back on the show, and exciting as we celebrate, depending on which day of the week you're watching this show, 2019.
Yes, a brand new year is here, and because we're in a new year, it was a time to look back, right?
Absolutely.
We have done some really great shows, and you know, I think we've done well to bring some really interesting things about our city to light. And today we're going to show you some of the things that happened in 2018.
Yeah, it was. It's crazy to think that it's already over, and all the amazing things that have happened, and exciting, disappointing, all types of things that happened throughout the city in 2018, and such a perfect time to look back and reflect on those, and see the wonderful year that we have had. And yeah, we have a full list of things from January right back to December of everything that took place.
And I mean, unfortunately, we can't put everything in the show, but we've picked a few things that I think were really cool happenings in the Energy City. So we're going to get started with our first clip, which was our brand new fire station grand opening. And that happened almost a year ago, last January.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Okay, ready?
Look at that, one hand. Voila.
We are in the office of Fire Chief Dale Feaser. Dale, give us some of your thoughts on what's happening today.
You know, it was just absolutely outstanding to see the amount of people that actually showed up for the grand opening and of the new fire station here and the dedication of the fire station. We've had provincial and federal dignitaries arrive to deliver some speeches by way of Dan Dutremont, as well as Dr. Robert Kitchen, who's the MP for our area. We had Mayor, Your Worship, Mayor Roy Ludwig, who was also here to deliver some speeches, as well as myself. We also had some previous fire chiefs actually by way of email, because unfortunately they weren't able to attend, but definitely sent their blessings and well wishes to us, so we were able to read those out as well.
Yeah, that was really great. That even though they can't be here, they're obviously invested in the fire service here enough that they're excited for this building to be here, and for you guys who are working here, they're excited that you have this opportunity, which is really nice. And the public seems excited about the place as well.
Yes, the public they're just ecstatic for them to come into the doors and just be in awe of what we're able to accomplish here with this building. It's just there can't be a better blessing for the fire station than that. Just knowing that, you know what, we did achieve what we were trying to accomplish, and make it more inviting to the public for them to come in and gain access to public education materials. And as we evolve a little in the future here, we're going to have a display area as well. So you're seeing some of the antiquities that are on display today there that we will have on static display full-time here in the next little while.
That's really awesome. It is nice that the public will be able, I didn't realize the public would be able to come in here and do some learning and things like that. So that's a really beneficial thing for everyone, isn't it?
Yes, by all means. So that's one thing that we're looking at, is have the public being invited in. The static displays, we're going to be a self-guided tour, but we're taking a look at involving our retired firefighters here to see if they'd be so inclined as to helping us out and providing a guided tour throughout the facility, as well as the antiquities and a little bit of public education. So we have tons of information that we can hand out to people, whether it be if you're looking for information on smoke alarms, carbon monoxide alarms, smoke alarms for hearing impaired, you name it. There's fire safety tips or information that we can hand out for just about everything.
That's fantastic, fantastic. Well, it is an absolutely beautiful facility, and a proud moment, I know, for you guys, but for the entire city, I think it's a very proud moment. And just, we do have to wrap things up, but before we do, just tell me what it felt when you cut the fire hose or uncoupled the fire hose, and when you pushed that fire truck over the threshold into its bay. Tell me what you were feeling then.
Well, it's a sense of total accomplishment in finalizing everything. The uncoupling of the fire hose is ceremonious, of course, to the fire service, indicating that the fire station is officially open for business, even though we've been in here for a while. But and also the christening of the fire station by pushing the fire truck into the fire station over the threshold. It was great to involve the dignitaries, members of the community that wanted to partake in that, because those fire trucks aren't too darn light. So to get her over that threshold of the door there and into the fire station, I guess it was just the icing on the cake there to finalize everything, and I was very happy to see everybody partake in that.
Yeah, that was a really exciting moment, I think. So I just want to congratulate you on what you've accomplished here. It's an exciting time for you, for the entire city, and a job very well done.
Thank you so much.
And wow, what an exciting moment. Hard to believe that was a year ago already, and great job. The fire department has made great use of that new facility, and high time that they did get the facility. Great looking back. Hard to believe over a year they've been in that building now.
That's right. It's a great facility, and we're so happy that they're able to have that facility. They really need it for the great work that they are doing, and to be able to continue to improve upon that work as well. Absolutely.
Now, when we talk about facilities, we go from an opening to a closing. This was a pretty hot button topic in the city of Estevan throughout the end of 2017 and into 2018, and of course we're talking of the demolition of the Civic Auditorium. And so now we are going back to May, when the shovels came in and they knocked down the Civic Auditorium.
It's a well-known fact that the demolition at the site of the historic Civic Auditorium is well underway, and at the opening of the time capsule, it was an exciting day for everyone in attendance. However, it wasn't the first time this time capsule has been cracked open. Mayor Roy Ludwig touched on the first opening.
Originally, it was found about 10 years ago, 2006 or so. We redid the siding on the front of the Civic, and it was found, so at that point they kept everything intact that had been in there, and then added everything that was important that they thought would be worthwhile putting in 2006. But it's great, for example, to see the Starlight Drive-In. We used to go there many times, and of course, as everyone knows, drive-ins these days, they're extinct for the most part. So, you know, it really brings back happy memories, a lot of happy memories, a lot of sad memories, you know, so yeah, it's just a very interesting day for sure. We're going to keep all of that, and we'll have it at City Hall under glass so that anyone who would like to go see it will be able to see it.
With the main structure demolished, there remains only the removal of debris and the rehabilitation left to complete. But still there lies some questions as why the City of Estevan awarded the contract to a Regina firm.
Well, we decided to go with the point system, which bases on overall. It picks out the best contractor overall, but the biggest issue, of course, is price. And although we would have loved to have had local contractors do this work, unfortunately, the gentleman that did get the bid from Regina was quite a bit less. So price being a big factor, unfortunately we couldn't go local because, of course, at the end of the day we have to be financially prudent to the taxpayers of Estevan. So that's why we ended up going with the company out of Regina.
After the cleanup and rehab is complete, the city says it plans to have consultations regarding the future of the space.
No plans at this time. It will be taken down, as you know, right, including the cement base. But we'll be having meetings this fall with our community, with the public, and we'll see, you know, what comes out of those meetings. I know it's been discussed, potential field house, another rink potentially, or would we look at, you know, something else, maybe an outdoor swimming pool? So there's lots of discussion amongst our community members, and we'll try to flesh some of that out this fall.
And it was a bit tough to see that huge piece of Estevan history come down with this demolition of the Civic Auditorium. However, these things, they happen, right? And it had to be done, so.
Absolutely, yeah. It lived a great life. It held many of sporting and recreational events, and things have come full circle. It's closed down, but it it opens up the possibility for, you never know, there's still that big property there. What could happen next? I guess we'll just have to sit back and wait and see.
And when something is announced, we'll be there to let you know about it for sure. Now, the following month in June marked the 10th anniversary of Canada's apology to the First Nations people. And here in Estevan, on Treaty 4 territory, we had a pipe ceremony and a flag raising.
Wow, that really was a powerful moment to be able to be a part of.
It really was. It really was something great to see right here in Estevan.
Yeah, it was a fantastic event. Now we got to keep moving on to July now, to a moment with the City of Estevan and the moving of their tourism booth. You may remember it used to be out by the Sewers Valley Museum. In July, it was they had their grand opening for the tourism booth, where it sits now in the Estevan Leisure Centre, a beautiful facility, and we go to check out that grand opening now.
So I just wanted to thank everyone for coming to the grand opening of the Visitor Centre. Thanks so much for coming to support. Construction began at the Visitor Centre mid-April in the midst of the Civic demolition, which is a big task, I guess, that Rod March took on. So he really got it to, he was only a couple of weeks shy of what I was hoping to get the start date open for, so that's not bad in the construction world. So I really appreciate his work. I'll give you a little bit of history of why we moved the visitor center over here. Over the past number of years, there was a steady decline in the visitor centers stopping at the old location, which was on Highway 39 West. In 2016, there was a total of 2,097 visitors. In 2016, there was 2,097 visitors, and in 2017, 1,197. So that was just shy of 1,000 less visitors. And then of those 1,197 visitors, 353 of them were for the energy tour, and then 285 of them were to use the washroom only. So we were basically a stop for the energy tour and a stop for the washroom. We just wanted to change that goal, I guess, for the visitor center, and we wanted to really use the ladies and the resources for the visitor center for residents here to share what Estevan has to do, that there's so many things to do here, and it just have a great tool where people come to the leisure center. This weekend there's a provincial lacrosse tournament going on. Another weekend in July there's provincial speed swimming competition, and so those people that come into Estevan from different areas will really get to see the community at its highlight throughout the visitor center. So just so you know as well, it's not really we just made this up out of our heads. Industry-wide, that's kind of how the trend happens. Like Tourism Saskatchewan has closed all of their visitor centers, and other actual municipalities are closing theirs. So we didn't actually want to close the visitor center. We still wanted to have it open for residents to know what's happening here. So that being said, one of our major things that we're changing and working on is having online content as well. So this year we have started a blog that we've launched today. It's called the Experience Estevan blog, and with the blog we have our summer students that will be writing and going to experience the city. So Michaela Matthews, she's an Estevan person that was born and raised here. She is going to be going to school for a stenographer this fall, but she's going to go and learn some experiences around here, and she's got some really great video editing, and her enthusiasm and knowing about what to do in Estevan is sharing that enthusiasm with everyone. We're really looking forward to that. And then we have Lauren Victor. She's a returning summer student this year. She knows a lot about what happened at the previous visitor center, and so she has just a wealth of knowledge, and we're really excited for her to share her experiences. She likes to go outside and do physical activities, so we're really excited to see things that she has to share. Our blog is on our website, estevan.ca or tourismestevan.com. You can always find it on our social media too. We have a new Instagram account called Experience Estevan, and then again, follow us on Twitter or Facebook at Tourism Estevan. So in this new visitor center, we have some things that are new. But lots of new items that we have for sale, and then we have some older things as well, like the energy tours that we've been offering for years and years. We partner with Westmoreland Coal and Sask Power, and we offer free tours. Right now they run in July and August, they run Tuesday to Saturday, and then there's 2 tours a day, 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. So you can just register for an energy tour here or call the visitor center and they can get you registered. So I think that's pretty much all. I just wanted to also thank Mayor Ludwig and Council and Jeff Ward, the City Manager, for our forward-thinking and innovative team. I asked him to get this project moving forward because it's kind of scary making changes and making sure that what we're spending our money on is being effective. And so we're really excited to share this new location. With that, I'll let Mayor Ludwig take over and say a few words if you'd like.
Okay, sure. Well, thank you very much, Becky, and thanks to your assistants and these able assistants that you have, that you've made the transition very smooth, and we thank you for that. We'd also like to thank Rod March, who really got things moving in here as far as our contractor, BS Construction. I'd like to thank them as well. They did a fantastic job. And thank you, Rod, for overseeing that and making sure it got done in time. And yeah, we're very proud of this new visitor center, and the transition was, as I mentioned, very smooth, and we know it'll be a great part of our facility here. So thank you so much for coming, and with that, without further ado, I'll cut the ribbon. Sorry. Without trying to do injury to myself. Okay.
That tourism booth is really a gem at Affinity Place, isn't it?
Yeah, they've made a great facility out of it. And now, since that grand opening, they've done great things to continue it. They just announced a couple weeks ago the hiring of two staff members that will be working in the facility and keeping up the Experience Estevan blog. And one of my favorite parts of the tourism booth is that they have added selling tickets to events. So when they have concerts at Affinity Place and other events, they're selling tickets, and they're working on growing and being able to offer more ticket options for more events around the community. They've really done a lot of work in making a great facility for both people that are touring the city and also the residents.
That's right. If you haven't been there, do check it out, because it really is wonderful. And if you want to know what's happening here in Estevan, that's definitely the place to go.
Yes, it is.
All right, now let's head into September, when we got to meet Darren Jones. Darren Jones is the carver of the Forever in the Clouds monument, and it's a beautiful monument dedicated to the 21 airmen who lost their lives in a plane accident in this area. And let's check that out. And I'm here with the carver, Darren Jones, and I'm very excited to be here because, Darren, we actually got to see you carve one of these faces, and it was absolutely tremendous to watch that.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for coming on the show, too. This is, it's unreal.
Cool thing about it, you got to come see the last two faces.
Yes, and this has been an ongoing thing because you had only a certain amount of faces, right?
That's correct. I started off with 17.
Okay.
And I carved those in last year, brought it out here. We were missing 4. By about a month and a half ago I was here. I put in 2 more faces, and we were still missing 2. Shortly after that, we put it on social media, and we got 1 more. Actually, one of the family members picked up on that, and then we were still lacking our very last face, and I put a bounty on his head of a sculpture on my Facebook page. Half an hour later, we had our very last 21.
That is absolutely fantastic, and a true labor of love, I think. You just seem so invested in this. Are you invested in every piece you do?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Well,
yeah.
Keep in mind, it's my creativity, right?
Yes.
It's my thought.
And how do you come up with a design? Like, I know the idea was to capture all 21 of the men in this sculpture. How do you decide how this is going to look? Does that just come to you, or?
Well, okay. Well, you have to look at the subject matter. These men died in a terrible way.
Yes.
You know, so instead of looking at the negative, let's look at the positive. That these men are going to be forever in the clouds. So, needless to say, I've used the plane for the representation of the war movement, but these guys are the ones that support in the air. They're in the clouds. They're still there.
Okay, right, yeah. So it feels pretty good getting these last couple of faces on here.
Oh, you don't know how good that feels. It's been a year, right? Or like it says, it's almost a 2-year project here so far. And like it says, I'm very, very excited about this.
Well, the whole town is excited about this, as a matter of fact. And I was telling you, Darren is also the sculptor who did our Soldiers Tree Monument that sits at City Hall. And that's a very well-used spot, and we're very thankful to have that here. And we got a chance to watch that as you were doing it as well in different stages. And now it's a centerpiece of our town, so thank you for that.
Well, no, I would like to thank Estevan for being the stewards, and it was presented so beautifully. You know, that's what I came in at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I stopped there. The lights are on it, and it just touches your heart when you go up there.
I'm glad that you're happy with what we've done with it. That makes me feel really good.
Oh, no,
I like
good.
Saying that the town loves it. They stop there for lunch sometimes. People have photographs done there, family photos, wedding photos, and it really is. It's just a beautiful part of our town that we're so appreciative of the work that you put into that. And then when we heard you were doing this, it was like, oh, fantastic, because we'd already seen the work. We knew that it was going to be fantastic. So. But
and a little bit bizarre, I'm sure. Eh?
It's just so unique that you would do this. But tell me how you got into carving with a chainsaw.
Oh, I live in Rimbey, Alberta, and I heat my house with wood.
Okay.
Okay, and on Father's Day, my family bought me a chainsaw to cut wood to burn in the house. Yeah, I still buy wood. I don't chop wood.
You don't chop wood with a chainsaw because...
No, there's something in that wood. I can't give up a big piece.
Oh, wow. So you just looked at the wood and said, I think I can make something out of that with a chainsaw?
No, well,
I've
been a painter since 1985.
Okay.
I've been painting with a paintbrush and with an airbrush.
Right.
And it's just the next step in my art career.
Okay.
And it's been 20 years of an adventure. It's nice to take everything from a two-dimensional to a three-dimensional.
Right.
And actually create, and it's even better whenever you can bring it out of your head, exactly what you think.
Yes, I can't imagine what's going on in your head with all these creations that are in there. And this is, I mean, these aren't the only two pieces. You do work all over the place, different things, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Actually, I have two pieces in Turkey at present also.
Wow.
So
around the world.
I'm working on my international status here.
Good for you. That's fantastic.
But my heart's in Estevan. Like I said, I love your community. I love the people here.
Well, that is fantastic to know, and the community loves you, and they love the work that you're doing too. It's just a fantastic piece.
Oh, I thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this work that you're doing, and thanks for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely spectacular work by Darren Jones, and my favorite part of that entire interview is the clips watching him work with that chainsaw. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I was actually mesmerized when we were out there. It was a cold, rainy day, and it didn't even matter how cold it was or how rainy, because I was glued to watching every move he made with that chainsaw, a blank piece of wood, and all of a sudden a face came to life out of it. It's just remarkable.
It was truly an amazing thing to see. Now, talking about amazing, we're moving right into December, and a couple weeks ago it was the Yellow Vest protest in Estevan and the truck rally, the convoy. 427 trucks was the number of vehicles in it. We did see this on last week's show, but it's the last thing that we have in the 2018 year in review. So we'll check out that truck convoy now.
Great to see so many people taking part in that rally and that Yellow Vest movement. It really put on a show here to let people know what's happening in this area and how people feel about things.
Absolutely, a lot of great support, and really exciting to see the community of Estevan come out. And wow, as we make it full circle around the year, unbelievable year. So exciting. It
has been a fantastic year. We are so thankful that you've been along for the ride. You've joined us each week, and we really appreciate that. We thank you for tuning in, and we wish you all the best for 2019. We do hope you will stay with us as we continue to bring you more of the events and happenings in Estevan on Talk of the Town.